After what feels like an endless day at work, I stroll along the waterfront, hoping the calm of the water will help settle my racing thoughts. The evening breeze from the sea carries a chill that cuts through even the light scarf draped over my shoulders. I can feel the tension in my body starting to ease, but the anxiety still clings to me. I decide to step into my favorite cafe, a small, cozy place with intimate tables by the window where I can always find some peace and get away from the chaos. I settle into a corner, order my usual latte, and glance at my phone, expecting nothing of significance. And then, out of nowhere, the door opens, and there she is, Ava, my colleague, my longtime friend. The moment our eyes meet, I can tell she's come here specifically to find me. Her expression, the way her hands move, and how she scans the room all make my stomach tighten. She smiles, but it's not a smile that reaches her eyes. "Hi, Mia," she says, walking toward me. "Mind if I join you?" I nod, though a growing unease stirs inside me. She takes a seat across from me, and I notice her hands are trembling slightly. I want to ask her if everything's okay, but before I can, she speaks first. I've been meaning to tell you something for a while now. Ava begins, her eyes glistening with tears. Then she drops the bomb. "I know your husband, Ethan. He's cheating on you." The words hit me like a punch to the chest. I feel the blood rush to my face, and the air around me feels suddenly suffocating. "He's cheating on you." The phrase echoes in my head, making it impossible to breathe. I can't find the words to reply, so all I manage is a strangled, "Ethan, with whom?" Ava looks down, then away, and lets out a long sigh. "With my husband. With Liam." The world around me starts to blur as I struggle to process what she's just said. Could it possibly be true? I try to gather my thoughts, but my head is spinning, my heart pounding like it wants to burst out of my chest. Ava's shoulders shake as she starts crying, tears streaming down her face. I want to comfort her, but before I can react, she leans in and kisses me. It's not a kiss of passion or love, more like a kiss of solidarity, a desperate gesture from someone who doesn't know how else to show their pain. I feel her trembling lips on mine, her fear almost palpable. And for a moment, I forget everything else. But when she pulls away, her eyes are full of confusion, like she can't quite believe what just happened. I feel the same way, shocked, unsure of what to say next. It's as if we've crossed some line into unknown territory with no way back. I look at her, trying to understand what she's feeling. And in that moment, I realize it wasn't just a kiss, it was something more. A need for reassurance, a cry for understanding, something I can't quite grasp. "I'm sorry," she whispers, wiping away a tear. I didn't know how else to tell you." "It's okay," I reply, though a storm is raging inside me. I try to smile, but my lips tremble. I need time to process what's happened, to figure out what comes next. It feels like my entire world has just come crashing down in an instant. We sit there, staring at each other in silence, and I know that this evening, this moment, will change everything from here on out. The next morning, I wake up with a weight on my chest, like a stone has been placed there. I keep replaying Ava's words in my mind, trying to find a mistake, some way to convince myself that this is all just a misunderstanding. But each time I go over the story, anger and despair wash over me. How could Ethan do this to me? How could I have missed it? And what was that kiss all about? I'm confused, lost, and can't see a way out. I decide I need to act. So I start watching Ethan more closely, his habits, his mannerisms, the way he talks. Everything starts to feel suspicious. Before, I wouldn't have given it a second thought, but now every little thing he does feels like evidence of his betrayal. When he talks on the phone, he turns slightly away so I can't see his face. When he comes home late, there's always an excuse. I was stuck at work, or traffic was awful. But there's a hesitation in his voice that I never noticed before. One evening, when he comes home late again, I decide not to ask him anything. Instead, I just observe. He smiles, tries to act normal, but there's an invisible wall between us. During dinner, I try not to look at him, but I can't help it. His eyes keep darting around the room, like he's looking for a way out. The next day, I run into Sophia, one of our mutual friends. We sit on a bench in the park, soaking in the rare sunshine. At first, I hesitate to speak, but finally, I gather the courage to ask, "Sophia, have you ever noticed anything strange about Ethan?" She hesitates, then makes a decision. "Mia, I've been meaning to tell you something. I saw Ethan with Liam recently. They were having dinner at a small restaurant outside the city. They seemed very close." She pauses, trying to choose her words carefully. "I didn't want to get involved, but I thought you should know." Her words cut through me like a knife. Very close. What does that mean? Sophia continues, her voice quiet but firm. "I'm not sure what's going on, but Mia, you need to be careful." I saw them holding hands. It didn't seem like just a friendship. I nod, trying to keep the tears at bay. Now I have even more reason to doubt everything. The pieces are starting to fall into place, but I'm not ready to jump to conclusions just yet. I need more proof. I thank Sophia and decide to take matters into my own hands. When Ethan heads off for another important meeting, I follow him. I take a taxi and trail his car through the streets, staying hidden in the shadows. He drives along a familiar route, then suddenly takes a turn toward the old restaurant where we used to go on weekends. I move closer, hiding around the corner, my heart racing in my chest. After a minute, I watch as Ethan steps out of the car, looks around briefly, and then walks inside. A few moments later, Liam appears. My heart is pounding so loudly, I feel like the entire world can hear it. The moment they lock eyes, I see their faces light up. This isn't just a casual meeting. There's something intimate between them, something that shifts everything for me. I pull out my phone, my hands shaking as I begin to record them. This is my evidence. Now, I just need to figure out what to do with it. As I remain hidden in the shadows, I leave feeling like I'm on the edge of something much bigger than just infidelity. With every step, cold dread and fear of the unknown future take hold of me. As the days pass, my thoughts become more tangled. Each morning I wake up alone, with Ethan already gone to work. All day long, I keep replaying the footage I took that night, wondering what to do next. Should I confront Ethan? Talk to Liam? Or maybe discuss everything with Ava? My emotions mix like paint on a canvas, and I feel the anxiety growing inside. I decide to meet Ava again. We arrange to meet at the same cafe where she first told me about her suspicions. When I walk in, I find her sitting by the window, nervously playing with a ring on her finger. I approach and take a seat across from her, immediately noticing her red, swollen eyes. She's been crying. She looks at me like she's silently begging for help. "You said you knew something else." I begin, my voice wavering slightly. "I saw Ethan with Liam at the restaurant. I recorded them. What else do I need to know?" Ava doesn't respond right away. She looks at me, then takes my hand and gently squeezes it.
Mia,
I have to confess. I don't know everything, but I do know they've been meeting in secret for quite some time. "I found out by accident," she continues. "Liam was always on the phone late at night, and one day, I saw a message from Ethan." "What did it say?" My voice cracks as I ask, a cold shiver running down my spine. I don't remember the exact words, but the meaning was clear. Something like, "I miss you. Let's meet." Ava pauses, her voice breaking. "I can't live with this anymore." She starts crying, and I feel my own tears welling up. I try to hold it together, but I suddenly feel like I can't breathe. Without thinking, I reach out to hug her, but she pulls away, her eyes locking with mine. "Mia," she whispers softly, as if afraid anyone might hear us. I think I've fallen in love with you." For a moment, the world seems to stop. I don't know how to react. Ava keeps speaking, her words coming out in quick, panicked bursts. I tried to ignore it. Tried to just be a good friend and tell you the truth. But when I saw you that day, when I told you about the affair, I couldn't stop myself. Before I can respond, she leans in, and her lips meet mine. But this kiss, this is different. It's hot, passionate, filled with all the emotions neither of us is willing to say aloud. I don't even know why I respond, but I do. I feel her trembling, the desperation in her touch. It's not just physical, it's pain, fear, and anger all tangled up together. I don't know what draws me to her in this moment, but for a split second, I forget everything. When we finally pull apart, I see her eyes full of tears. She suddenly seems to realize what just happened and looks away. "I'm sorry," she whispers, her voice trembling. "I didn't mean to. It's okay," I say softly, though I don't believe my own words. "I didn't expect this." We sit in silence, the tension thick between us. I realize in that moment that I can't trust anyone anymore, not even myself. Something inside me has broken. I don't know how I feel about Ethan or Ava, or anything that's happening around me. Suddenly, Ava stands up. "I need to think, Mia. I don't know what to do next." I nod, and she walks away, leaving me alone in the cafe, surrounded by confusion, by chaos. I understand now. There are more secrets to uncover, and the truth I'm searching for might be far more painful than I ever imagined. Days pass, but the noise in my head never fades. Everything that happened at the cafe, the words Ava said, the emotions I felt, everything is tangled in a never-ending knot of confusion. I no longer know who I can trust, not even myself. What was that kiss? Why did I respond? The questions swirl around, never letting me go. Meanwhile, Ethan carries on as if nothing has changed. He still smiles over dinner, still asks about my day like nothing's wrong. But now I see it, his false smile, his lies. I start noticing things I'd ignored before. How he flinches when his phone rings. How he stiffens when I pick up his things. These aren't just little quirks. These are signs that he's hiding something. And I can't just sit back and ignore it any longer. That night, when Ethan falls asleep, I make my move. I quietly sneak over to his phone, scrolling through his messages. At first, it's just typical work conversations, group chats, nothing out of the ordinary. But then, I find a hidden thread under a name I don't recognize. My heart starts racing. I'm scared to see what's inside, but I can't stop myself. I open the chat and find messages from Liam. At first, they seem harmless, just friendly exchanges. But as I keep reading, I see the deeper layers, plans to meet, hints about secret dinners, shared memories. My chest tightens and a cold wave washes over me. It's all clear now. They're more than just friends. And it's not just work, not just meetings. It's something else, something real. I know I need to confront Ethan, but I have no idea where to start. 100 different scenarios play out in my mind. Do I confront him now, yell out all my suspicions, or do I wait for the right moment? Before I can decide, there's a soft knock on the door. I freeze. I walk over and open it to find Ava standing there, her face filled with anxiety. "We need to talk," she says quickly. "I found out something new." I let her in and she wastes no time. "I decided to talk to Liam," she says, sitting on the edge of the sofa, twisting her fingers nervously. I couldn't stand the uncertainty anymore, so I asked him directly. "He said he and Ethan have some kind of business partnership," she continues, but I didn't believe it. So I pushed for more and eventually, he admitted they were in a relationship, but it ended recently. Her words feel like she's pulling away from me, justifying herself, as if she's trying to excuse her involvement in all of this. "What did you find out?" I ask, struggling to keep my anger and impatience in check. "He said that now they're just business partners," Ava replies, her gaze avoiding mine. "But there's something else I didn't know. Turns out they were planning something much bigger, some joint project they were keeping secret. Ethan didn't want me to find out about it." "What do you mean?" I ask, a knot of anxiety tightening in my stomach. "I don't know all the details, Mia, but it's something to do with investments, with money. I'm not sure Ethan's being completely honest with you, even about that. I think he's planning something that could affect your life," she continues. Her words feel like daggers piercing through me. Ethan isn't just hiding things from me. He's hiding them from her too. Possibly even from Liam. It's like the world is shrinking around me, becoming smaller, tighter. I suddenly realize that I'm caught in some twisted game. And I don't know the rules. We need to find out what's really going on, I say, the weight of everything dawning on me. This isn't just about jealousy or betrayal anymore. There's something much deeper, something hidden beneath the surface. If they're planning something, it could affect all of us. Ava agrees, and I sense that she's on my side. But at the same time, I understand that I can't trust her completely. I don't know who's playing a double game and who's being honest. But one thing is clear, I need to get to the bottom of this no matter what. A few days pass since my last conversation with Ava, but every moment feels like an eternity. It's like I'm a puppet in some dark, twisted play, where everyone's playing their part, but no one knows who's pulling the strings. I can't just sit back anymore. I can't let my life fall apart without knowing the truth. So, I decide it's time to have an honest conversation with Ethan and Liam. I pick a neutral spot, a small cafe in the city center, so no one can try to dodge or hide. I text Ethan, "We need to talk. Meet me at 7 p.m. at the Clover Cafe." His response is immediate. About what? It's short, almost dismissive. "You'll find out," I write back, feeling my palms begin to sweat. I arrive at the cafe half an hour early to gather my thoughts. My heart is hammering in my chest, and I can't help but think I might be making a huge mistake. But I need to know the truth. Finally, at exactly 7, the door opens. Ethan steps inside, his face a mix of anxiety and confusion. A few minutes later, Liam walks in, looking even more bewildered than Ethan. They sit across from me, and for a moment, we all sit in silence, unsure who will speak first. I decide to take charge. "I know you two have been meeting," I say, my voice steady but firm. "I saw you at the restaurant, and I have proof of your meetings." Ethan goes pale, his eyes darting toward Liam. But to my surprise, Liam doesn't look frightened. Instead, he smiles, a nervous, almost resigned smile, as if he knows everything is about to come crashing down. "Yes, we were meeting," Liam admits. "But not for the reasons you think." "Then why?" I ask, struggling to stay calm, even though a storm of emotions is raging inside me. Ethan sighs, finally breaking his silence. "We had a project, Mia," he begins, his voice defensive. "A business project. We wanted to start a business together." "Wait," I interrupt, not sure I'm hearing him right. "A business? You kept it a secret because of a business?" Liam nods. "At first, we wanted to keep it under wraps because we knew people, including you, might misunderstand. It wasn't just about us, it was about the business." "Why couldn't I know about it?" I demand. "Why keep me in the dark?" "Because there was a lot of money involved," Liam jumps in. "Money we were planning to invest with partners you don't even know about. We wanted to do this the right way, without any fuss. But things got complicated." I see Ethan glance at Liam, as if he's hoping he won't say too much. "What got complicated?" I press, my patience starting to wear thin. "Ethan got more and more involved," Liam continues, not meeting my eyes. "He wanted to leave his main job and focus on this, but the problem was, we didn't have any guarantees it would work out. We decided to wait. But Ethan didn't want to wait." I notice Ethan's fists clenching. He wants to speak, but he doesn't. "And what happened next?" I ask, my frustration growing. "Is this just about business?" "Not exactly," Liam replies, finally meeting my gaze. "There's something else you need to know, Mia. Ava knew about all of this from the beginning. She was part of the plan." Those words hit me like a bolt from the blue. "Ava?" I echo. "But why would she tell me all those things?" Liam continues, his voice heavy. "Ava found out about our project. She didn't like it. She was afraid it would ruin our lives, ruin our families. She tried to stop it by any means necessary." "By any means necessary?" I repeat, my hands beginning to shake. "Are you telling me she manipulated me all this time?" Ethan and Liam fall silent. I look at both of them and realize the truth. Ava was playing her own game, and I was just a pawn. She used my fears and feelings to make me doubt, to destroy my marriage, all to stop something she thought was wrong. I stand up, my body trembling. The ground beneath me feels like it's giving way, and a wave of utter disappointment washes over me. You are all playing your own games, I say quietly, not looking at them. And now I don't know who I can trust. I thought I knew everything, that I could find the truth, but it turns out, none of it matters. You all lied, manipulated me, and I was just blind. I turn and walk out of the cafe, ignoring their calls as they try to stop me. I need to get away, far away from all the lies and all the games. I walk down the street, the noise of the world around me fading. My mind is filled with only one thought. I am completely alone. Everyone I loved and trusted turned out to be a betrayer. In the end, I realize it doesn't matter who said what or did what. My life has changed forever. And now, I have to start over with only one certainty. I will never trust anyone again.